Hi, Graham. We're back.
Hi, Carolyn. It's good to be back.
Thanks.
So, with regards to how a session may work, is that I ultimately, Spirit gives me the guidance, but I try to combine a combination of the mediumship and whatever comes through. But during a session, I want the client to, and for yourself, at any time, feel free to interject. But the way I connect is I do connect with loved ones in spirit first, and they give me a download of information. But and if you, I ask that they also talk to you at the same time as me, so that they'll be impressing upon you the same information, and then hopefully I'm on the same page as you. So if I happen to say mother's side and you think it's really father's side, trust what you're getting, but feel free to let me know, or I will go deeper into getting that information. So that's how the process works for me. I go to the spirit side of life first on continuity, and we go from there and see what they have to say. And this is the client's time, so if you have questions or anything that I share with you, feel free to ask, and I can go into it deeper. But I start with a download because
Perfect.
people just love to come in and talk and use us as channels. So,
Yes, that's true.
okay, thank you. So, Carolyn, when I first connect with you, I want to go on mother's side of the family, and I want to bring you a lady who I believe lived till she was probably around 79 to 81 years of age. She feels as if she's about 5'1" in height. I find that I'm moving my tongue a little in the mouth, so there was some condition in the mouth that happened with her. And someone is pushing me forward right now, so that in my psychic dictionary represents that she had a little bit of the curvature of the spine. And lovingly, she wags her finger at you, okay? Because she's telling, and I want to go back actually, probably. Oh, it feels like it's multiples of five. It's not just in the last 5 years. It feels like I have to go back in time. And I also have a condition within the chest with her. It's not breast cancer. There's some shadow or some effect in the lungs, but it feels more like it also feels more like it's a COPD type issue, which came in to be like water on the lung. And this could be a grandmother or a great aunt because I feel I want to go up in the closet. I have someone on the father side of the house who loved to play with their nose. Okay, or they were always having a bit of a runny nose, or would be prone to bronchitis and colds because suddenly I'm being clairsentient predominantly. I feel the mannerisms of this individual, and I suddenly feel very withdrawn because my partner passed to spirit before me, and I ended up trying to live, but it's almost like I started dying of a broken heart, but I still had loving family around me, okay?
Mhm.
And um, I believe that it's a male, I want to say he, there may be at least 5 siblings in his family, so I feel as if I'm going up as well. Um, I didn't have much time with you, or maybe you were either young, or maybe I didn't even get to see you being born, but I'm around you, okay?
Oh,
So I want to go way back in time, and I just have this emotional feeling of how much love you could have helped me stay around. Gosh, there's a lot of people because naturally in your business and other aspects, you've helped a lot of people. I almost feel as if I want to put you as if in a period of time where you either volunteered or you would go to either a nursing home or an assisted living place to either comfort someone or be with someone, okay? And I want to now go back actually about 8 months. There seems to be something significant 8 months ago, and it's not just holistic campus. It's where I have to put an anchor in, and you're kind of feisty. okay? And you will put your foot down when it needs to be happened. You even did that. You have a supervisor or a mentor from work who's around you a lot that he just admired you so much. And I feel as if I never got to say goodbye to you, okay? And I feel as if the last time you and he would have been together, and I'm 5'11", so I'm almost looking in his eyes. He feels a little jowly to me, and he says, "Be careful how you describe my physical size." He says it jokingly and lovingly. Okay, I believe he may have passed as a result of kidney or liver disease or something like that, because that's the part of my body that hurts right now.
Oh.
But he comes in to give you 2 thumbs up. As you move forward into 2018, he says, do not lose sight of your strengths from corporate America. That has to serve you. That is not, he says, many people feel as if they want to cut the ties with their previous jobs or their previous lives. But it's not about cutting the ties. It's about understanding what you gain from that and how you can utilize that. And the 3rd week of February to the 2nd week of March seems very important for you right now. Okay? It's like the next milestone for you. I have another relative in family who might have been on a ventilator for a period of time or required oxygen. So I feel as if I have to put my neck back and I was on a ventilator for a period of time. There were 3, maybe 4 areas of the body that were, quote, shot, okay? It feels male to me because I'm being drawn down to the lower extremities, and potentially I started with colon cancer, okay? But then it naturally went up and metastasized straight up. I also right now feel a lot of pressure in the head. So I feel as if it could have gone up into the head. There was some trauma in the head, and now I feel like I can't get my words and my thoughts in sync. So it's almost as if I may have, in today's times, he says, they would say that I had early onset of Alzheimer's, because I don't feel as if I'm really, really old with this gentleman. Comes in as well, naturally, with a lot of love. I see your body language shifting there. So do you want to ask, or do you have something?
No, it's so many, Graham. I'm trying to decipher.
Okay.
I know about the COPD and I know who that is. But just it's interesting. The last one with the early onset Alzheimer's. That I gotta think that one through.
Okay. So if it wasn't early onset Alzheimer's, what it is that I have this style of communication whereby I don't always finish my sentences. So it may be, if it's not early onset, no, there's someone on mother's side of the house that would have had either lesions in the brain or something happening, but it may not have been diagnosed at that time. But I also feel kind of fail, but it could also be a style of communication. I believe there's someone who was on mother's side. I feel like I want to like chain smoke, but I'm not sure that there's chain smoking. And then I've got my tongue going again, which represents like either mouth ulcers or some irritation in the mouth. Now I want to give you my false teeth. Okay.
That was definitely my mother.
Okay, so mom's in it. So yeah, I want to take out my false teeth and hand them to you.
That always drove me crazy.
You're very proud, but when you were 7 or 8, I think you might have been like a little bit of a tomboy or a rebel, like all kids, you know?
Oh,
because
yeah.
I feel like
Girl.
I'm sorry?
I said I never was a girly girl.
Right, never was a girly girl. I feel like I want to put my hands on my hip, I want to put my feet down, and I want to say, the classic child thing, no or why, okay?
Oh, why?
So that was 6 or 7. 6 or 7 was a very sort of, there's aspects of how it really steered, or some things got locked into you emotionally. Because I feel as if I want to withdraw a little, okay? But from what I know of you, you present a very, I'm going to go for this, and you know, this is what I need of you, very, very disciplined, combination from corporate America, etc. But there's an aspect where I want to, it's like I want to say to you, love, that naturally you're very, very giving, but it's very important to have you or have others receive, or have you receive from others. I also want to say that it's very important to not always just give free rein to everyone at the moment. It's like, I want you to go back to your corporate roots as well, and blend it so there's a good balance there, because at the moment I feel it's going to put even more chaos for you right now. There's something of a personal nature that we won't talk about on this right now, but someone, maybe it might be mother, who's telling me that you have an appointment in approximately 3 weeks or something, which is a very personal nature, okay? I feel like I want to say, make sure that you do your homework and make sure that you truly are present and ask the questions that are most important for you, because this feels to me as if it's going to be important for the next year to year and a half.
Oh, okay.
There's someone on father's side of the house who I feel like I want to do this, like the prayer motion. I don't believe it's a Catholicism, but I want to take this posture. And then there is someone who's got a Bible under their arms, and he could have almost been a minister or very important in their church, okay? And he says, since I went over, I've learned he actually uses a little bit of colorful language, but not too, but he's like, it's very different than what I was educated in, and what, and that gentleman with the nose fixation comes back in. So those are the ones who, because I feel like there's a lot of people that you've touched, but and it does feel to me on both sides of the family that there's quite a few people and in-laws that are coming in who went down with a heart attack. This is either father or the father that you viewed more of a father. Because when I go up father's side of the house, it's a little difficult to communicate, okay? But at the same time, I feel a lot of love from the spirit side of life. But there's a gentleman who was a candidate for triple bypass, but actually I think he had congestive heart failure. And then he may have even died in his sleep. And it was one of those, oh, sugar moments, you know. It's like they anticipated him passing as a result of something else, okay? So we're going to move on a little bit more to some of the other aspects from the continuity of life, and see what's in store for you or what has been very influential. So seven years ago seems very important in your calendar. Seven years ago. It's like 7, and then someone that seems very poetic. It's almost like 7 score and more. But so there was someone who was very learned and loved either poetry or was very flamboyant who's telling me this, okay? But he wants to say that, wow, it feels, not only did I get the rug pulled from under me, but it's like someone reached in and took hold of your heart and just pulled it out and trashed it. There's a lot of grief or a lot of emotional things that had to step over. Now I'm seeing like I'm fighting out of the trenches. I actually have someone who was maybe at D-Day or soon after D-Day, maybe not the first wave of Normandy, but I want to bring someone. And there was another family member who would have flown Corsairs or was in the Navy in some, but I feel more like Italy, and Italy seems a connection with you, or some Italy, or Italy seems to come up, the picture of Italy in the map. It's not for that I'm going to be going there and doing that, but that is a possibility for you. But I want to bring in relatives as well who had those military experiences. Oh, life records, opening those, what's in store for you? Wow, I want to run like the wolf right now. So I'm shifting into shamanism. And it's like I'm chasing something down, okay? I'm the one chasing something down, but it's not to quote, have for lunch or anything. It's just, I'm just running through the woods and I have this vibrant energy. It's just like I'm wanting to live life, and wolf represents to me about teacher and all of that aspect. But I'm not sure that that's your primary power animal. Plus, that's something I believe that is better done through facilitating that. And also, I want to go back to when you were about 23 or 24 years of age. Seems to be a very defining aspect, and it's almost as if you call back a soul part, which can be done, but a lot of times we like to be present in our body when the soul part comes back, but it can come back on its own. But it's almost as if there was something around those ages that I really had to heal or to look at differently. And I'm wanting to also congratulate you because it was a long, arduous time to get to where you got. Now, your corporate skills are going to really help you. So I feel like I want to emphasize that as you go down, not just the holistic campus, but as you go down, I have a river now, so I'm going down a river, I'm paddling on the boat. You're not a person who just, you try to go with the flow because that's the mental paradigm you want, but you're very disciplined and have a direction you want. And right now I've got you coming up to 3 branching tributaries, okay? And what I want to say to you at the same time, as I then go up, as I'm in this boat, is that they're all going to lead, as we know, to the perfect destination. And just, there's an additional aspect of holistic campus, or there's going to be someone who's going to, they say to me, it's almost like there's someone who wants in a way of, at the higher level, and I want to, it's like I want you to listen or to have an open mind as to what they could mentor you for, because there's another area that's even bigger for you within the next 4 years, okay? And I want to, even though it's going to be like the trenches, slugging up that, but now I see turtle, large turtle, and it's trying to rush, but it's a really large turtle. Okay, one of those big ones, you know, that have been around for like 100 years, and it's just moving slowly to the water's edge and pausing, and it keeps its head out. It's not wanting. There is a family member that I also have some children just suddenly stepped in, but I'm not sure you lost a child. It feels more like I want to call you auntie, so I don't know if in the hierarchy, or I feel my hesitation is because I feel like I want to go up, and I felt like, oh, but it could actually be if your mother had lost a child and you would have had a sibling, okay?
Oh, maybe. I don't know that, but
Right,
it could have happened.
right. This is a time where I'd like to invite the client, yourself, if there's, so when they give me the downloads, they give me all of this information, and then we take a specific area, which is, a priority for an individual. For example, there might be relationship challenge, or there might be business challenge. And it's like, well, which one do you want to make the priority to go and explore? So that would be the next part of this session, is to either get some feedback or go into one of those areas deeper for the client. But you didn't get to say goodbye. Have no regrets. So someone just says, if you didn't make it to the wake, or you didn't make it to say goodbye for some reason, I want to go back maybe 14 years. I know that you'd have to go off and think about that, but I feel I have to go back. And the fact that my hand went that way psychically means father's side of the house. And I'm getting very gruff as well. So my lungs and I'm not sure it was throat cancer. It feels more like it was fluid on the lungs, and I would have brought up body fluid before I passed. And I want to have a little remorse, even if there was a good relationship. I feel like I want to say I'm sorry, and I wish I could have done more. Okay, but and then they step in and step back out.
Wow. You mentioned something about 7 years ago, and then something else about 20 when I was 22, 23, and that was in the 80s. And that's kind of interesting, Graham, because the situation that happened with me that I wrote the book about, the walk-in, that happened 7 years. That started 7 years ago.
Okay.
That piece, and I think when it talks about the heart wrenching and all that, I think I think it had to do with the fact that my husband that was here just gave up and went back to spirit. Now, of course, the very happy side of that is that the man that was the man of my heart and still is, we were together when I was 22, 23, 24.
Oh, okay, because I intentionally haven't read the book. I'm going to get a copy, and I'm going to ask for an autographed copy and buy an autographed copy, because I didn't want to be biased. But let me go into that deeper then, if that's the case, because I don't want.
It just seems those.
Yeah. No. If there's something like that, I want to go into it deeper. So, with you having said the first soul, it feels to me as if it's very interesting. It feels to me and you saying about a walk-in, it feels like I was wanting to talk about how there was also some either neurological or some challenge. I feel as if I'm wanting to get attention to my arm. Now, that may have all gone away when the new soul walked in, but it feels to me as if, as we talk about that, that's what Spirit wants to give to me, to go deeper into different data for you. Now I have a picture of almost like, I don't know if I lived right by water or there was water really close by, but there was something about and I believe when you were 22, 23 versus the 7 years ago part. I feel like I have this beautiful vista of a classic New England lake, which was a very, very, very special spot, okay? Mm. And then there was also a memory of It's like I want to say I'm very cold. It's like went off for either a picnic or something, and there was some comical or situation whereby it was like the picnic was cut short. I don't know if you can recall something like that, because it just feels like it started as a beautiful romantic thing and it didn't get quite completed, but we laughed like crazy about it all. So I don't know if you can recollect that, but that's what I'm getting right now from, as additional information to try and give you confirmation on that. But
That's in the book too.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got to say thank you because I made a conscious choice not to yet read the book, but I plan to read the book.
Yeah. There's a scene. There's a scene that's exactly what you described. And before it, and yeah, it got anyway. Yes, that was it.
Wow. So, anything else that you would?
Now, all of these different people that are coming, I know my mother died of, she had lung cancer. Her sister had lung cancer. There was a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the other ones, from when they come in like that, it's so, I've got the lineage and we've got small families on both sides, and you said not Catholicism. It was Episcopalianism. That's what we were, which is Catholic light to me. But what are they just coming through to say hello, or there's many?
Yeah, I think what happens for me, yes. So because I was trained classically as a classic medium, validating continuity of life, they just all line up for me. Okay. And they just keep coming in, and of course, it's like I have to put them in sequence or snap these little pieces of information, get a snapshot. And my hesitation is, yeah, they all feel like they're related and close with the family. Okay, they all are coming in to say hi because, as Gary Schwartz says, the sacred gift and contract of spirit is to be able to come through and validate that life is continuous, that we have access to that. So they just love to have the opportunity to speak through all of us intuitives or channels.
Oh, great. So it's just hello.
In some cases, I felt there was one person where I was saying also with the remorse, and when I go up father's side of the family, I have this love inside, but I don't always find a good way of communicating it, or I set high expectations on myself.
Yeah. And two of them that I know were my father's sister and her husband, they were like grandparents to me. So that
right. So now you have a wonderful path ahead of you. Naturally, I do feel that I want to make sure that you maintain your outwardness and compassion, and don't, and also someone's making me smile, saying, make sure you take care of yourself and do your own work, and that will accelerate some things for you, because reminds me of that song by REM, everybody hurts. So we all have things that we stifle in and we think we've dealt with them, but we're always getting to another layer. And so my mission is to help people to get to that layer. Plus, our soul's evolution, our true essence is light and love of all that is, okay? And our true essence is to share and be of service and to have a joyful life. It's our society and our cultural things that hold us back. So that's what each and every soul is craving for. And I believe we pick our parents and we pick our life experiences but we can influence and change them as we grow, you know.
Right, right. Oh, that's beautiful. And keep the corporate, keep the corporate. And
Yeah, I think
parts of it.
no, I think for you it's like there are so many good skill sets that you learned, okay? There are so many aspects there that with this new adventure you have to still maintain and keep the balance, okay? Keep that balance.
Beautiful.
I'm I'll be honest, I'm kind of stunned right now that I haven't read your book, and wow, thank you.
No, thank you. You'll know there's a whole chapter on it, on that spot. And that is my happy place. I always go to meditating too. So way to go, Graham. Nice.
I'm just trying to think. Suddenly the wolf came back in and is sitting here right now, and it's just like cocking its head and turning its head, looking as if to say, "Okay, what's the next adventure?" You know, and yeah, your energy feels good. But I think, like I mentioned, something of a personal nature. It's like I want to get some things get some things checked so that you know it's not bad or anything. It just means more like aches and pains. I have a follow-up meeting to do.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, yes, I tore my Achilles tendon. I popped it,
Okay,
and I have, yeah.
that's as I go through the body as well. You know, I scan the energetic body, and now just as I'm about to leave you because I want to, I have that. I'm like 5'7". Actually, this may be female on father's side of the house. I want to be actually. I want to be fairly young. I want to be in my 50s or so, you know, to maybe even early 60. And I'm holding my chest because I'm getting an unusual arrhythmia of the heart. Okay, so I would have had heart challenges, but I don't feel I had a massive coronary, but I was having heart challenges, and I almost feel like I just passed in my sleep, and I went nice and quietly.
My father's side. I wonder if it's his mother. His mother.
Okay, trust what you're getting then, um,
And
because
she's a big guide for me. She's
okay,
one of my guides, and she's around and helping me all the time.
she may have even had something to do with one of the feet, either gout or beginnings of there was some circulatory nervous type condition,
Wow.
nerve type condition. So I'm getting tinglings in the feet right now as we're talking.
Mm.
So I potentially would, and I also may have had beginnings of osteoporosis or something. My bones ache a little.
Oh,
So
and I wish I had parents or grandparents still around to have these conversations with, but I'm the only one left.
yeah,
So it's just interesting. Well,
okay.
beautiful.
So I think that might be close to time. I feel like they're all withdrawing and stepping back right now, and I feel complete and calm, and I feel a little emotional, but it's an emotional of aspect of that makes me like tears of joy and tears of love that I want to just live.
Oh,
And I'm handing you a lily, and someone talks about dahlias. I'm not good at flowers, but I feel like I want to present those to you. So if someone had those in their gardens or would often put them on their sideboards, then I want to give you those flowers as a memory or a greeting and with love.
oh, that's beautiful. And thank them all for me too, please, for saying hello.
They hear you. You can thank them too.
Thank
They're
you
with
for
me.
talking. It's so much fun to think about. Thank you, Graham.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
Namaste, and thank you for what you're doing for community. And many people will benefit from all the people you bring together and connect with other people, I'm sure. So thank you.
That's the mission. Thank you so much, Graham. Take care.
You're welcome.